You have arrived at one of the toughest commando courses in the IDF, the Givati Commandos, the best unit in the IDF. We only select those we want, the best among you.
Nothing better to motivate the young recruits, or rather, the candidates for the aptitude tests for the Givati Infantry Brigade's Commando course. This is the first time since the October 7 assault that I-24 news cameras have been allowed to record such an ordeal.
Of the 300 who apply for the commando course, only 180 will make it. 120 will drop out along the way. In the end, 3 groups will be formed, and we will retain between 90 and 100 soldiers.
I want to see who improves their performance and who doesn't. Raise your hands. Who raised their hands and didn't improve their results? What happened?
The instructor then asked them who wants to leave the commander course. Their performance is apparently not up to scratch. And while the recruits continue to running exercises, one of the soldiers decide to drop out. Commander course over. Are you breaking them on purpose, or do you think they are not up to the task?
I'm deliberately breaking them.
Who will pass?
No, not the physically strongest. At some point, they will all reach their physical limits, whether they train more or less. That's when the mental aspect comes into play.
To illustrate, during this exercise, one of the recruits feels slightly unwell. It's impressive. The entire group stops and goes to help. Out of respect, we are asked to stop filming, but these soldiers demonstrate their spirit, the famous brothers-in-arms ethos of the IDF.
These aren't just the next Givati commandos you see, the next non-commissioned officers, the next company commanders of the Givati Commandos and Brigade 2545.
The commandos, or Sayeret in Hebrew, have virtually never stopped fighting terrorist organization in Gaza. And this is especially true since October 7 massacre. 88 Givati soldiers, included 23 from the Sayeret, have fallen.
Wanting to be a fighter today, knowing full well that hundreds of soldiers have fallen in the last 2 years, and that it's very likely you'll take part in a war soon, or in the next 2 or 3 years, takes tremendous courage, more than was required of past generations.
Only a few of them will have the privilege to get the position to be in the Sayeret Givati, one of the main commander unit of the Infantry Corps. Before that, they will have to run, scroll, sweat. But at the end, according to a lot of officers, their motivation has raised since October the 7th.
In a year and 2 months, you'll find these soldiers on the front lines of the IDF, at the heart of the most complex missions. That's why our responsibility is paramount. We must train them as best we can, and above all, choose them wisely.
After 4 days of commando training, here are 180 recruits who have passed the first test. And even though we are forced to blur their faces, we could see the big smiles on the faces of these young adults.
These last 2 years have proven the value of our generation, that each of us is endowed with a true mental strength that no one suspected, and that was awakened on October 7th.
What's striking in the maturity of these future commandos? First, the increased motivation.
My father is the commander of the battalion responsible for evacuating soldiers' bodies from enemy territory. He evacuated dozens, if not hundreds, of burned bodies. In bad condition, he and his soldiers. It's obvious that he passed those on to me, his eldest son. I shared those moments when he was at home and when he wasn't. And these kinds of things strengthened us.
And the price to pay is always to be on the front lines.
I have many friends who have paid a heavy price in this war, who have been killed or wounded. They themselves were Givati commandos. I know there is a price to pay, and if necessary, I will pay it too.